If you are new to this channel, my name is Stephen Ojo, and on this channel I give updates as to study abroad, working abroad, and settling abroad, and I sometimes give up immigration updates of various countries. So if this is your area of interest, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, comment, and share. This video will be as concise as possible and without wasting time. Today I will be talking about the financial hurdle for an international student in the UK, how he can surmount these hurdles, and all things in between the line. While talking about these hurdles, I'll be listing in my experience as an international student in the UK for about 4 years ago now. As we all know, it is not easy to migrate from your country of birth to an entirely different continent or country, because you will face a lot of challenges, and some of the first challenges you will face is a change of weather, change of environment, culture shock. You're going to see things being done quite differently from the way it was done back home, and by the time you are visited with all of this, you will soon realize that you are far from home. It is even different if you enter the UK as an international student, because you've got loads of bills to pay. You've got school fees, tuition to pay, about £15,000 to pay while you're studying, so you have to work hard, and you've got rent to pay, you've got feeding to take care of, and you've got council tax. Well, you can be excluded as a student from paying council tax, but reality will be done on you when you finish schooling and you're still living in the country. So you may wonder, how was I able to pay my tuition of about 15,000? Well, the school gave about 2,000 discount, so what I had to pay was £13,000. Yes, universities in UK usually give some consideration, some discount, and they come in form of scholarship. So I had £13,000 to pay within the space of 1 year, 6 months. So how was I able to pay this amount of money? And 13,000, that's about 11 point something million naira in naira value. So that's, you can tell that that's a lot to pay to be able to work as student, pay your rent, house rent, pay other bills, feeding, and all of that, and you still be able to focus on your study. Immediately I came to the UK, I started making inquiry. I started asking other friends who were already here that what job is available for an international student and which one is the best. So they told me the option of working in the factory, working as security, and care job. So I put the options together. I hit the ground running. I started working immediately. You know, some of the mistakes that some people make when they come to the UK is that, I know it's fascinating when you come into a new country, a beautiful country, you would want to like spend some time living up and taking pictures and all of that. But the most important thing must be done before every other. So I hit the ground running. I looked for a job and I started working. While I was working, it was not easy. It was quite tough, because I remember how it was so difficult for me to juggle my study and work. So in those time, I would be at work and then I would receive an email for an assignment. So this is somebody who just finished about 12 hours shift. When I get home, I'm not going to sleep. I have to spend time studying and doing my assignment. You know, every week I had to write about 300 words to submit and all of that. I had to do all of this to make sure that I do not fail my academics, in as much as I'm hustling to make enough money to offset the debt, my school fees and other bills. I also have to work out to make sure that I put in more effort in my academics. It was really, really tough. I recall some weeks where I had to work day and night when I was on break. So I had this long break. It was close to 4 months. You know, in order to meet up with other things and be able to settle very quickly, I had to work day and night. I would finish my shift, 12-hour shifts from 8 to 8 in one location, and then I'll book an Uber to take me to the night shift. But then sometimes I would stay without seeing my house for days. It was that tough, and luckily and happily for me, I was able to meet up. I finished paying my school fees even before 6 months or thereabout. I was able to pay my school fees. I owed no rent. I fed well, and I was also able to look back home to do one or two things. So what are the lessons that we can learn from this? I would say that as an international student who just came to UK, you have to set your priority right. You have to know what you're here for. You know, it's an exciting place. You see a lot of beautiful things. You see nightclubs. You see new friends, you know, a lot of things that will excite you. They could be really, really distracting. Those things around you could be distracted, but you have to prepare your mind and set your priority right. And again, you have to get all the information available online or from friends who are already studying here. You have to get every information possible to help you prepare yourself. You have to know that schooling abroad is not a bed of roses. You know, you have to prepare your mind and be ready to slug it out. So when you come to UK, do not start to look for who to visit, your uncle, your auntie in London to go and visit. Hit the ground running and start looking for a job. Because when the chips are down, you may not see anybody that will come to your rescue, all man to himself in this country. Look for how you can earn, no matter what job that you have seen. Look for how you can earn. When you come to the UK, you have to hit the ground running. First thing first. With the information you've gathered so far, you will use it to your advantage. Also worthy of note is that you should not avoid dirty jobs. You see those jobs that are dirty, that looks like they are not befitting. Don't look down on any job in UK. As long as you can get money, you can get wages that would pay your bills, do not look down on any job. Do not look down on dirty jobs, because that's where the money is. But you will be all right if you are determined to do so. And another thing you should put into consideration is that when you come to the UK, now you're earning, you have to plan your finance. You must know where your finance is going, what you are doing with what, and what time you are paying what. You have to set your priority right again with respect to your finance. You have to know that you have bills to pay, you have tuition. So school would usually give you an option to set how and when you would like to pay your tuition in installments. Many universities in the UK would give you that option to pay the remaining part of your tuition in installment. So you have to know, oh, every month I'm going to be paying £1,000, 900, 800. So when you know you have £800 or £900 to pay, you have your rent on the other hand to pay, and you have to shop and have food in the house, because it's very important. And you don't want a situation whereby you become hungry and you collapse at work. So you have to plan your finance and make sure that you set out your finance for what it is, what is right at that time to do with them. I mean, you're going to give happy hand to family back home, but you must not have too much on your plate. You're not going to be in UK as a student and you have your family problem on your head. If you do that, it will be very difficult for you to meet up. Consider what you're having on your plate and make sure that it is not overwhelming. If you're coming to the UK, you're coming as a lawyer, doctor, you know, where as long as you haven't had, you don't have the license to practice in UK yet, you're just coming in as a doctor from Ghana, Nigeria, wherever part of the world, and you're coming as an accountant, you're coming as all these big, respectable professions, you have to mellow down. Don't feel too big. Nobody is too big in UK. Whatever you see to do, start doing it. Join the queue. Later on, you can finalize documentation or paperwork that will enable you to work as a professional in the UK. 95% of everybody that comes from different countries as a foreign professional, it actually takes some years before you can actually then switch into the profession of your choice, you know. So don't feel bad at all. Do whatever your hand findeth to do. So finally, ladies and gentlemen, my story is actually a success story, because within that time frame of 1 year, I think it was about 1 year 6 months or 1 year 8 months, almost 4 years now. So within that time frame, I was able to pay the whooping sum of 11.8 million naira. I worked hard, I paid it off. That same period, I got married, and the rest has been history. So when you come to the UK and you work hard, definitely things will fall in place. And if you're new to this channel and you like this kind of content and other beautiful content that will be dishing out as time goes on, please do hit the subscribe button below. Please comment, like, and share with other friends so that they can see the message we have here. Thank you very much.